Welcome back, everyone. So iOS 14 came out, Android 11 came out. They're both in beta form, so I wanted to see kind of how they compare. And at first I was weirded out because I don't have iOS 14 installed on any of my latest iPhones or Google Pixels or anything like that. But I do have Android 11 on my Pixel 2 XL, and the iPhone 10 came out the same year as the Pixel 2 XL, and they were kind of like competitors in a way. So let's go ahead and see how both of them kind of compare. Now, I'll do some speed tests here and there. I'll test some other things also. But I'm more so focused on kind of just the smoothness and the stability between both of them because they're both in beta form, like I stated, but it's still pretty important to see the differences between the speed and all that other stuff. So in terms of just animations and kind of going through, I've been kind of seeing that, there's not really too many differences. One thing with iOS 14 is that we do have this new app library, and kind of scrolling through, I don't really see too big of a difference or anything like that between both of them. However, one thing that I wanted to showcase is, let's just go to the Play Store, for example, and I'll go ahead and start loading apps in a second. But the gesture-based design is still superior on the iOS side. So if I go ahead and swipe up, you can kind of see that, they're both look kind of the same in terms of the smoothness. But with the Pixel 2 XL, you can see that it kind of just gets stuck there. And in order to actually swipe out, you kind of have to go quickly and then swipe out that way. On the iOS side, it's not really the case. And if I go ahead and swipe up and if I get into the panel, it's kind of hard to demonstrate over the camera, but I still feel like it's more fluid on the iOS side. But on the Android side, it has actually gotten much better in my opinion. It used to be a lot more glitchy, especially on my One UI 2 devices. It's been a really rough ride. This specific device has, on Android 11, I think it's smoothed out a little bit, which is a good thing. So let's go and start loading up some of these apps. That's enough talking from me. I have a bunch of these apps downloaded from before, so we can just get into them. We can do like Snapchat. We can do the Temple Run, the original one, 3, 2, 1. And they were on two different panels, so I'll go ahead and restart this from the beginning. Temple Run again, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the iPhone 10 was just slightly ahead just by a little bit. Getting to some gameplay, we can see if there's a difference, and I don't really think there's going to be a difference at all. You can do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the Pixel 2 XL is actually a faster one, followed by the iPhone 10 shortly after. You can see Android 11 fully loaded, iOS 14 a little bit after, so that was definitely kind of interesting for me. Let's go and load up some gameplay. I was expecting it to be the opposite, and they look about the same at the end of the day. I don't really think there's too big of a difference between them, which is a good sign, I guess. We can do stack, 3, 2, 1. And you can see we have this pop up yet again, but to get into the ad, it was actually technically faster on the iOS 14 device than on Android 11, so a little thing to note right there. Now getting into the game itself, let's go and see if there's any difference. I don't think there's probably going to be. We can go and try it out, and they look about the same in my opinion. There doesn't seem to be one that's like way smoother than the other one, so I guess another W for both right there. One thing right there is that for some reason on Android, you can't. I'm just having a hard time getting out of the game. Like, what am I doing wrong? Okay, finally, that took like 4 hours. Snake versus blocks, 3, 2, 1. And Android 11 faster. Let's go and get into some gameplay, see if there's a difference. And I really don't think there's going to be too big of a difference between these. Actually, there was a little bit of glitchiness going on with the iPhone 10 in the beginning, but it kind of evened out at the end. We can do Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. And animation-wise, I think the iPhone 10 was a little bit faster in the animations. It was kind of smoother. Android 11 was a little bit kind of, a little bit finicky in the beginning with, but it evened out at the end. And of course, we do have this little thing that we have to download, unfortunately. Now, another thing that I was saying was, iOS copied Android, they copied the widgets, whatever. Well, like I've said before, widgets have been around for a long time. It's not just, the widgets have been around on so many different OSs. Mac OS had it before even Android was made. And I think they're very important. I think they're really cool. And I think both of them copy, one another. And I think going from iOS 13 to iOS 14 is a bigger update than going from Android 10 to Android 11. There's still things that I like from both. I like, iOS's, simplicity, how everything just works, and the ecosystem that it brings. But I like Android because, you have more customizations. Even though iOS 14 brings the widgets and some other things, you still have more customization capabilities here. You can sign your own apps, just install your own APKs and stuff. That's something that iOS just doesn't have yet, and it's so annoying. Or they had it and they took it away or whatever. But with Android, you still have that capability, which is huge in my opinion. So between both, I don't think one is clearly the craziest, device between both of them. But if I had to say it, I think Android 11 brings its crazy own things. iOS 14 brings its own things, but both of them are still in betas, and they both still have a lot of work in my opinion. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.